Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Learning. In this episode, I'm gonna do a little bit improvisation. Basically, the idea is to use a combination of Blender particles, animation nodes, and sphere chalk together. And I just gonna try to do something that's interesting. So I have a couple of ideas, and this is one of them. Just gonna start with a cube. The cube itself is just gonna be like some kind of particle emitter, so it's not like super complex. And I will start with animation nodes. So first of all, I will duplicate the cube a couple of times. I probably should have generate the particle system first for one of them, so I will actually do that. So I have this particle system for this guy, and I'll duplicate it and duplicate it again. And by default, I think Blender will duplicate the objects and it will keep the same particle system. So this particle system you can see here, number 3, that's mean one particle system is being used by 3 users. If you click here, it's going to be like a unique particle system. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it a single particle system. So we have 3 objects and we want to bring it into animation nodes to have animation nodes kind of control them in a procedural way. I will group them, Control G. You can see now they are green in the outline. And I will use objects from group. And with the animation nodes version 2, actually most of their nodes are vectorized, so it's become very easy. If you have like an object like this and then you want to kind of animate it, it's you simply plug in this bunch of objects and then you can control it using animation nodes. At the moment, they are suddenly becoming like they are all in the same position. For what we are doing, we just want to use a vector wiggle and just use this vector wiggle to control our objects. So if you plug it in and then, okay, it's still like they're all still in the same position, 3 of them. You need to turn on this guy, and now you can see it's giving this list of vectors value. And for what we are doing, we have 3 objects here, so we just plug that in, and it knows how many objects we have, which is 3, and then plug into the locations. And now we have random position for our cube. I'll save this real quick. So this is Blender AN spectral particle playground, call it. So yeah, now they are still working. The particle is still working for all of them. And we can use frame, plug into our evolution, and our wiggle, vector wiggle, will do the job. And our box objects now are possessed with animation nodes. So this is kind of nice already, right? Even though it's really basic, but it's kind of nice to have this kind of like a fairy sprinkling some particles. But maybe we want to control the particles a little bit, maybe we don't want it to fall off the gravity. If we turn it off, the particle will just stuck on that object. We need to have Newtonian simulations, and maybe we want to make this a little bit longer, 500, 1000 particle lifetime. Okay, lifetime 500 as well, or yeah, just leave it like that. And we can emit it from vertices of the box or faces, volume, doesn't matter. And normal, the one that I want to turn off is the gravity. So with the gravity off, it shouldn't be shooting too much. Maybe I will also turn off the normal, so it's not shooting. It's just just gonna throw particles in the 3D space, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So we have like particles being sprayed on air like that. So at this point we can simply switch to sphere chalk, and we gotta do something really simple. So I did this in the past. It's actually very interesting that you can do this so easily now. we just simply grab the objects, which is already grouped, and then get selections, plug in the objects into the particles MK2 node, and see, we can get the locations and out velocity for maybe for the directions maybe. But this is really handy, and because we have like a bunch of tools to generate mesh, the one that I really like is the polyline viewer. This guy, for these particles, for to be working with polyline, you actually simply plug that in. But I normally I like to use the UV connection tool. This is probably a little bit cleaner. But you don't, apparently you don't need to use this. You just plug this in and then turn on maybe B-spline, or in this case, what should we do? If we turn on B-spline, it's all gonna be like smooth like this. So you can see where this is going. It's already quite interesting looking. And what else you can do here? If you actually duplicate the cube, so I have 4, I just duplicate it using Shift D. It will actually generate the objects. It's gonna update automatically, and for us, maybe with SphereChalk we need to get the selection again because we have like more objects now. But other than that, everything will just work right away. It's very streamlined. Yeah, I found this very interesting, even though it's super basic and simple. You can do, of course, a little bit more, like with the particle system. You have all kind of Blender particle system setup parameters that you can change, properties. Even though there might be limited, but you can maybe use like turbulence and all that, and you can still have everything will still work, and SphereChalk will do its job, and animation nodes will still kind of move the emitter around. So even though this is like super basic, but this is like a very high potential for a lot of visual effects. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for this live coding. I have nothing more to say unless there's more ideas. But I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you have any feedbacks, questions, or any ideas how I can improve this, or how I can take this further, let me know. And anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.